What's going on, movie fans? My name is Michael Weer. I love talking about movies, and today is a very special day here on my channel because today we crossed 500 subscribers right here on YouTube. That is a milestone that I never thought I would get to, and I understand that in the grand scope of YouTube channels or movie review channels, 500 is still relatively small, but it means a lot to me that 500 plus of you would subscribe to my channel, and I just wanted to make a thank you video. I started this movie review channel back in 2018 when I was inspired by people like Jeremy Jahns, Chris Stuckman, John Flickinger, and those guys have done such a great job talking about movies, and I love listening to them talk about movies. And so I was like, you know what? I want to try that out. So I started my channel back in 2018, and I didn't upload as much as I wanted to. And I understand that the quality of those videos is very low because that's just how YouTube is. You start with very low quality, you're figuring things out, you're using Movie Maker to start, and eventually you're like, I got to get away from Movie Maker. But getting into 2020, when the world went into emergency shutdown, the rest of us were like, I can't go to work, but I can go on YouTube. And so I started my channel up again. I started making Blu-ray collection updates, talking about movie reviews, movie news, things like that. I just wanted to be part of the space. And then in mid-2021, I started taking this thing serious and started uploading as consistently as I could all the way through 2022 and now 2023. And we went from 200 subscribers on this channel at the beginning of 2023 to 500 right here in September. It just means a lot to me. So again, I wanted to say a quick thank you to all of you. And of course, I'm not just going to say thank you. I'm going to do something special. You guys have seen me talk about mystery boxes here on my channel where I unload a mystery box of 50 DVDs and Blu-rays. Well, today we are going to talk about 2 mystery boxes totaling 100 DVDs or Blu-rays between the 2 of them. I'm excited to jump into these with you guys, but also have to take this box down. So after a quick cut, we're going to jump into 2 mystery boxes of DVDs and Blu-rays.
500.
500 what, douchebag?
500 fights. I'll tell you, you learn a lot of things on the way to 500. None more important than this.
All right, guys, I have my trusty bat knife. I have my Red Bull to get me through this. This is going to be a longer video, so if you don't have something to drink, I definitely recommend that you grab something to drink right now. I think this just pulls up, yeah. Can't reuse these boxes. All right, so here we go. We're going to open this up. We're going to use steady hands so we don't cut ourselves open. Sounded kind of weird. All right. So the first box, here we go. Let's see what we have. God damn it. It's Sex and the City again. If you've watched any of my mystery boxes, I have gotten a Sex and the City movie every single time. But that's fine. We're starting with Sex and the City on DVD, and we're going to throw it down there. If I don't want to keep it, it's going off the edge, going down there into the abyss. That's really just the other side of my desk. All right, let's move on. Next up, we have Never Opened Before, Serving Sarah. This stars Matthew Perry and Elizabeth, don't know. Who is this? Elizabeth Hurley. Didn't she do other things too other than acting? Nice. Anyway, I'm a big Matthew Perry fan. I've never heard of this movie, Serving Sarah, so I might check it out. Put it over there. All right, next up we have Stephen King's It. Now this is cool, even though it's a DVD, it's cool because I don't own a copy of Stephen King's It. So that is actually the first really cool find in this movie. I feel like showing this one to my kids because while it's not scary to me as an adult anymore, this movie is terrifying for little kids. So my son might be watching this soon. That's exciting. All right, moving on. Let's see what we got next. We have our first Blu-ray of the mix, and that is Alpha Dog. I've heard about this movie. I've never seen this movie. It's got Ben Foster, Sean Hatzy, Emily Hirsch, Sharon Stone, Justin Timberlake. How is he not the first person mentioned? Anton Yelchin. That's exciting. R.I.P. to Anton Yelchin, who's no longer with us. And Bruce Willis is in this movie. Yeah, this movie is kind of stacked. So I'm looking forward to watching this. It's a Blu-ray. This is a good mystery box so far. We're only 4 movies in. Let's see what else we got. Next up, we have a DVD called Movie 43. Now, I've seen this. This is a ridiculous movie. It came out... Oh, there's a hair. We're just going to get rid of that. You never know what you're getting in these mystery boxes. But this movie came out during all of the spoofs are hilarious. We should watch make as many spoofs, I should say, as possible. And so, yeah, Movie 43. I don't own this. I might keep the DVD. That's kind of cool. All right, next up, guys, we have World Trade Center. Now, I actually already own this movie, I believe on DVD. I don't think I own it on Blu-ray. What more can I say about World Trade Center? You know the plot. But it's about a couple firefighters, including Nicolas Cage, one of the greatest actors of all time, and Michael Pena is in this movie as well, and I think he's a good actor. And so you've got the two of them trapped in the World Trade Center, trying to stay alive, obviously after it's fallen. It was a tragic day, and actually just there was just September 11th, like 2 weeks ago. So there you go, World Trade Center. All right, throwing the movie World Trade Center and hearing it crash is probably not good for the channel. So I'm just going to throw in right now that if you like this kind of content, hit subscribe. I would absolutely love for you guys to subscribe to the channel. All right, moving on, guys. We have Sex and the City 2. They just must have so many Sex and the City movies that nobody wants that they throw them in every mystery box. So we're getting rid of Sex and the City 2. I don't want it, don't have it, and I'm not going to keep it. Moving on, guys, we have Friends for Life, starring Michael Flynn. 4 orphaned wolf pups, a man facing a lonely future, and the act of kindness that saved them all. Nah, he's doing something weird to those wolves. All right, let's get rid of that. Next up, guys, we have Blow, starring Johnny Depp and Penelope Cruz. This is actually a movie that I haven't seen yet. It's on DVD. I may keep it to watch it once, and then get rid of the DVD forever because DVDs are inferior. But, yeah, I've never seen it. So, big fan of Johnny Depp. I'll check out Blow. All right, next up, guys, we have another DVD, and this one is The Never Ending Story. I've never seen it. The disc looks rough. The case is cracked. I'm just going to keep my streak of never seeing it. I'm just going to keep that going. What do we have next here, guys? We have X-Men 3, The Last Stand. It's got little Marvel... Why is this sticky? We're just going to put that back in here. I don't know why it's sticky. Let's get rid of that. All right, next up, guys, we have Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. I think this is my dad's favorite of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I'm a big fan, well, I am a big fan of the battle in the second movie that escapes me at this time. Helm's Deep, the Battle of Helm's Deep. There, I got it. I got there. While I'm a big fan of that battle, Fellowship of the Ring is my favorite of the Lord of the Rings. But yeah, Return of the King's a great movie. I already own it on 4K. I like the blue case, though. That was always impressive to me. I like that they were like, yeah, have a blue case instead of making just a standard black case. All right, guys, let's see what we have next. We have Deceiver. This is a movie with a woman's leg coming out of a tub and then a bunch of dudes up here. Tim Roth, Chris Penn, Michael Rooker, Renee Zellweger. Never seen it. Deceiver. Probably never going to see it. Just being honest. All right, next up, guys, we have Down in Fraggle Rock. The Fraggle Rock DVD. This was before my time. I was never a Fraggle Rock guy. I know it's Jim Henson. But yeah, this was before me. So kind of looks like the blue version of Kerm right there. Big Kermit fan. All right, let's see what else we got in here, guys. The next thing we have is Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers in an unopened Shall We Dance. This is a classic movie. I wish this was on Blu-ray. That would actually be a great find. I don't know if I'll keep Shall We Dance. I think I might, because this reminds me, like, growing up, we were allowed to watch older movies. And so Shall We Dance was one that was on my house a lot. And it's just, you know, kind of fun. Although, if you go back and rewatch movies from that era, super misogynistic. Super, like, we were watching Singing in the Rain the other day. I was showing it to my kids. I was like, oh, they'll like this movie. And I was like, oh, yeah, I want my kids to really have some of those values. Anyway, let's move on. We have Some Girl. Falling in Love in L.A. is a real art. Juliette Lewis, Michael Rappaport. Just because he's in it. That's gone. All right. Next up, we have very nice. We have Borat. Borat is a great, hilarious movie, followed up with the second Borat, which was just garbage. But I own Borat on Blu-ray, so I won't be keeping this DVD. But yeah, that was very nice. All right. Moving on, guys, let's see what else we got here. We have Men in Black 2. This is the second movie in the Men in Black franchise. There are 4 movies total, and I've seen 3 of them. I own International, never watched it yet. I picked it up because Tessa Thompson's in it, and I was like, well, I have to watch it if she's in it. And then I just haven't watched it yet. Men in Black 2 is a fun time, not as good as the first movie. They really lean into more joke storytelling than just good storytelling, if that makes sense. I don't know. The dog's funny. That's what I remember from that movie the most. Next up, we have A Christmas with Holly. Sean Ferris and Elise Mumford. Yeah, no. Eloise, I think it was. I don't think it was Elise. I just wrecked her name and threw the movie. Next up, we have Awake. And now this was when Hayden Christensen was still a big star. Like, people hadn't completely turned on him for Star Wars yet. And then they did. That's my sump pump running in the background. So if you hear it, I'm sorry. Usually you can only pick that up on headphones. But for those of you listening on headphones, that was my sump pump. Next up, we do have Awake, though. And like I said, Hayden Christensen was sort of in his heyday. Jessica Alba was still making movies. Terrence Howard was still relevant. I've seen it. It's fine. We'll move on. Next up, guys, what do we have next? We have How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. This is a really fun movie, and actually one that I own already on Blu-ray. The thing about this movie, I quote it a lot, is when he goes, "Hey ladies, frost yourselves," and then you hear from down below, "Hey buddy, frost this," and clearly they're flipping him off, and he's like, "Well, I like it. I like that about this movie." So, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Matthew McConaughey. All right, next up we have another DVD, and that is a triple feature 3 DVD set. If Lucy Fell, Life Without Dick, that has 2 meanings, and Striking Distance. What a weird combination. I mean, what? Yeah, you got Bruce Willis in Striking Distance, and then they're like, Life Without Dick, it means 2 things, and then If Lucy Fell. So I've never watched any of those, and I will keep that streak alive. And they triple stacked the DVDs. Monsters! They triple stacked the DVDs in this case. That's just a monster move. Whoever put that out, whatever company was like, yeah, just triple stack the DVDs, who cares? DVD scratch, so much easier than any other disc on the market. And they're like, stack them. All right, what do we have next, guys? We have Reservoir Dogs 10 Years Special Edition. I own this on Blu-ray for the even more upgraded how many years. Reservoir Dogs, what can I say about it that hasn't been said? It's got a great cast. I love the beginning of the movie where Steve Buscemi talks about tipping. It's probably the most iconic moment from that movie. But I love that from this movie. So Reservoir Dogs, yeah, I'm not going to keep the DVD. Next up, guys, we have another DVD, and that is Van Helsing. We have Van Helsing. I own this movie on 4K. It's a guilty pleasure movie of mine because it's not a movie. It's a movie that I understand is not very good. I do get that. But there's just something about it. I watched it on New Year's Eve back in, I don't know, whenever it came out on VHS then. And it stuck with me ever since then. It's kind of a weird New Year's movie for me because of that. But it's got some cool Universal Monster moments in that movie. All right, guys, another DVD here, Into the Wild. Into the Wild, I've never heard of this movie before. It's a spellbinding film, according to Roger Ebert and the Chicago Sun-Times, but not a movie that I will be checking out ever in my life. Okay, let's see, we got another DVD, What Dreams May Come. This is Robin Williams. I think I've seen this. It's a DVD. I'm going to move on. Yeah, I'm just going to get rid of it. All right, next up, guys, we have The Office Season 3. All the discs are here. For whatever reason, whenever I talk about The Office, there's always somebody that's like, I'll take that. If you don't want it, I'll take it. So the discs are all here. If you want it, it's yours. But I do own The Office already on DVD, so I'm just going to throw that down there for now. I tossed it lightly if you want it. Castaway, one man's unforgettable journey of courage and I should probably show you guys. One man's unforgettable journey of courage and hope and survival. And there it is. It's a cool looking case, honestly, for this. I wish it wasn't a DVD. I don't believe I own this yet, but I'm just not gonna keep the DVD. I'd rather find it on Blu-ray somewhere. All right, next up, another DVD. There are some Blu-rays in here, but I'm kind of grabbing the DVDs first. We have Underworld Evolution. I think this is the second movie in the Underworld franchise. I've always enjoyed the Underworld movies. I know that they're kind of just popcorn fun, so you're not going to get much out of them other than, you know, vampires versus werewolves. But I actually do enjoy the Underworld movies. I think some of them are underrated. Not a huge fan of the first one, but it's one of those series that I think gets better with time. I don't know. That's just me personally. Next up, we have Terminator Genesis. This is a bad movie. This might be the worst movie in the entire Terminator franchise. I actually really enjoy most of the Terminator movies, and this movie was just boring. It was boring and bad, and they gave the spoiler away on one of the characters in the trailer. And I remember going to the movie like, surely that can't be the spoiler. It was. It was. I already own it on Blu-ray though. Next up, guys, what do we have? We have Old School, Unrated, and Out of Control. This is a fun movie. I love everything about Old School. You might be asking why you're holding a rope. You might also be asking why that rope is tied to a cinder block. Maybe I'm misquoting him there, but you know where that goes. It's hilarious. Old School is really funny. I own it on Blu-ray. Definitely recommend it if you guys haven't watched it. All right, next up, guys, we have a Blu-ray, and it's The Greatest Showman. I just picked this up on Blu-ray last year for the first time. There's a digital code in here, but it says it's expired, so we're just gonna throw that away. But yeah, The Greatest Showman. I do own it already, so I won't be keeping it. But it's a good movie. Good time. All right. Next up, guys, we have, I grabbed 2 DVDs just now. The first one is The Incredible Hulk. Yeah, great Hulk movie, great beginning to the MCU for The Incredible Hulk, which Edward Norton had stayed on. Although I enjoyed what we got from Mark Ruffalo until recently. Like, as soon as the She-Hulk show came out, I was like, ah, man, what did they do to my boy? They destroyed him. But The Incredible Hulk was a great start for Hulk into the MCU, and I still stand by Iron Man through Endgame is one of the greatest cinematic experiences of all time. And then you could throw in No Way Home if you want for Spider-Man, but that's it. All right. Hellcats of the Navy, Ronald Reagan and Nancy Davis. Yeah, the President of the United States of America, Ronald Reagan, was once a movie star, and he starred in movies like this, Hellcats of the Navy. And, yeah, that's all I can say. I've not seen it, and I'm not going to. All right, nothing against Ronald Reagan, to be clear. All right, we're gonna flip this. We're gonna flip this box. I don't want it to get weird. It's gonna get weird. All right, guys. So what's the first one we have? The first DVD we have here is The Conjuring. The Conjuring is one of my favorite horror movies of all time, probably top 10 for sure. And I actually have the poster for The Conjuring. This right here is actually the poster, and I have that for my movie theater setup for Halloween time, which is now. So it's up over there right now. But what's really cool about this case, you got the noose right here, this tree, the house in the background, but then you've got the hanging witch because you only see the shadow. It's great. Like, the twist in the movie, and this was a 2013 movie, so spoiler, I guess, but the twist in the movie is that it's not a demon they're going after in this movie, it's a witch. And so it's cool that, like, they kind of tell you that on the front cover. Kind of. All right. I'm not going to keep the DVD, though. I have it on Blu-ray. Next up, we have Moulin Rouge. I know this movie made a lot of splashes at the Oscars. Is that how it's said? I don't know. Not going to watch it. Next up, guys, we have Eat, Pray, Love. My wife told me that her mom took her to see this, like, I don't know, 15 times. And her mom's a huge fan of this movie. It's not a movie I've ever seen. Not a movie I really have any inclination to watch. I'm not a big Julia Roberts fan. And it's mostly because of the size of her mouth. I know that's weird. I know that's weird. I knew saying it was going to be weird. But yeah, Eat, Pray, Love, not a fan. Just for the record, not a fan. Next DVD we have up here, guys, is Three Kingdoms. Never seen it. Again, probably never will. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I own this on Blu-ray. Want to upgrade it to 4K. Just waiting for that sweet Steelbook collector's set to either come down in price or for them to release a new one. Because you know they will soon. WB's losing money left and right. They need to find a way to make money. So they'll just re-release Harry Potter again. They will. Next up, guys, we have The Scorpion King. This was the movie that came out after The Mummy Returns. And that's crazy to me if you think about the fact that The Mummy Returns, while it's still a decent Mummy movie, the graphics were horrible. Just horrible. Like, I loved that original Mummy. And then we got Mummy Returns, which was mostly about the Scorpion King. And it was so bad. But they still gave us a Scorpion King movie, not money. Scorpion King movie. Although this movie must have made money because they made like 3 after it. So, nonstop, rock solid action. I saw this once as a kid. I don't own it. I don't plan on keeping it. Next up, guys, we have Zombie Apocalypse. Kenny James, Michael Epson, Michael Harthen. Ryan Thompson's Zombie Apocalypse is an example of a no-budget movie done right. 4 out of 5 headshots. Oh, I see what they did there. Zombie Apocalypse. Yeah, I've never seen it. Not keeping it. Next up, guys, we have Two for the Money. This is a movie I have seen. It is Matthew McConaughey before the McConaissance took off. But yeah, it's a good movie. Al Pacino, Rene Russo. I think he's like a sports betting guy. Yeah, I think I own it. I'm not sure. The Departed, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Mark Wahlberg, Matt Damon, I almost said Matt Wahlberg, and of course, the great Jack Nicholson. Yeah, this is a great movie. I had a little moment there in my brain. May edit that out later. Might not. But the Departed, it's a really fun movie. This is a good detective movie, but it's also just a great thriller. It's in my top 10 movies of all time, for sure. I love everything about this movie, the cast, the way the story goes down, the ending, very well-told story throughout the whole movie. Oh, and Vera Farmiga's in it, too, and I'm a big fan of her. All right, moving on, guys, we have Maid of Honor. Patrick Dempsey must have been extremely popular when they made this movie, because I don't see anything appealing about this movie. Is he the guy from that operating show? I don't know the name of it. Grey's Anatomy. Is that Patrick Dempsey? I don't know. I don't know. All right, moving on. We have one DVD left in the box and then some Blu-rays. Oz the Great and Powerful. I actually saw this movie in theaters. I was worse off for seeing it in theaters, for sure. This isn't a great movie at all. But I did buy this movie on Blu-ray recently to show my kids, because I thought they might like it. And they did. So, Oz the Great and Powerful. All right, we're down to just a couple of Blu-rays left in this box. Let's go with the first one. My favorite movie in the entire MCU, Captain America: Civil War. This is, while there are great moments throughout the entire series of MCU movies, and Iron Man is in the top 5, and Avengers Infinity War / Endgame also in the top 5. This one, Civil War, is my favorite. Something about brother versus brother, that conflict there is so great. I remember when this trailer came out and Captain America says to Bucky, he said, "He's my friend." And Iron Man looks at him and goes, "So was I." Oh, that gets me every single time. This is another movie that is on my wall throughout the year, except for the spooky season. It's a poster I have up in my movie theater room, because this is one of the best movies. I would say this is the best movie in the MCU, in my opinion. I just love that brother versus brother conflict. I'm gonna adjust my watch so it stops going off on me. And now I'm in theater mode. Can't be bothered. Next up, guys, we have the Lego Ninjago movie. I have never seen this. My son is a huge Lego fan. He liked the Lego Batman movie, so he'll probably enjoy this. This is a good pickup. I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to show him. He'll probably enjoy it. Next up, guys, what do we have next? We have Disney's Into the Woods. I know this is a musical with a bunch of people that I normally wouldn't seek out, although it does have Emily Blunt and Chris Pine and Johnny Depp. But it's a musical. That's not my style, but my kids might like it. So I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to show them. So, yeah, another good find, I think. Maybe it's a decent find. All right, we have 2 movies left, guys. The first one up is The Justice League, this abomination of a movie. All right, let me talk to you here. I'm going to take this movie out and just get rid of that for a second. Okay, everything's fine. All right, Justice League. Let's talk about this for one quick second here. This movie, for those of you who don't know, is a movie that was started by Zack Snyder. I think it even says that Zack Snyder's the director on the back. He got full credit for this film, but halfway through filming this movie, he unfortunately had his daughter had passed away. His 12-year-old daughter has passed away. So he asked WB that he needed to step away, and he asked them to pause it, and they were like, "You got it." And as soon as he backed away from it, they were like, "Now hire Joss Whedon, bring him in here, make it like the Avengers, and get us paid." They did that. It was a horrible, deceitful, terrible thing that WB did. And to be fair to WB in general, eventually they did let Zack Snyder finish his work. It is one of the best things that we got out of the DC universe. Zack Snyder's Justice League is wonderful, but this abomination has no place on my shelves. Justice League, gone forever. All right, the last movie is actually, it's an HD DVD. I haven't seen one of these in a long time. I love that red, that dark red that the HD cases had, but you had to have an HD, oh, look at that. You had to have an HD DVD player to play this, and it just didn't take off. As soon as Blu-ray came out, it was over for HD DVDs. It was like this fight between HD DVDs and Blu-rays, and there's actually a really funny moment in the movie Tropic Thunder where one of the guys is trying to explain the difference between those two and how they both came at each other at the same time, and Blu-ray ultimately won. And he's telling this to, I think it's Jack Black. And finally Jack Black turns around and is like, "Hey, will you shut the fuck up?" Like, it's great. So HD DVDs are no longer a thing. I don't even know if you could sell them to replay shops. Does anybody even have an HD DVD player? I don't know, but I'm not keeping it. So guys, from the first box of movies, we have Into the Woods on Blu-ray, the Lego Ninjago movie. Let's make sure it's actually in here. Yep, it's in here. The case is kind of messed up, but that's fine. There we go. Take out just all the inserts. I don't keep any of the inserts. And Alpha Dog. So those are the 3 Blu-rays that we got out of 50 movies. And we got some DVDs that I decided to keep. We have Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers in Shall We Dance. It's a cute movie, I think. But again, that era. We have Blow, based on a true story with Johnny Depp and Penelope Cruz. A movie that I do want to watch. Probably will watch it once and then get rid of the DVD forever. I also like the fact that it's a white case. That's kind of neat. Next up, we have movie 43 with a ton of famous people in it, and a movie that's just utterly ridiculous. Stephen King's It. Oh, that disc is dirty. You can't see it from here, but it's dirty. So I'll have to clean that disc, and I plan on showing my kids at some point, because of course I am. And then Serving Sarah, starring Matthew Perry and Elizabeth Hurley. Just because I like Matthew Perry, you know, that might happen. So these are the movies from the first box. We'll put them over there in a very safe place. And now we move on to the second mystery box. Again, this is video I am making specifically as a thank you to everybody that took time to hit subscribe on my channel. If you're not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you do that. If you like this kind of content, whether it's mystery boxes, Blu-ray talk, movie reviews, or just sometimes movie news, sometimes I see stuff and I'm like, I want to talk about that on my channel. With that said, let's get the Batman knife again, and let's open up the second mystery box of movies. Here we go. All right, you guys ready for this? Because this one was heavy. I don't know why, but this movie box was heavy. Hoping that doesn't mean like it's just a ton of TV DVDs. We'll see. All right, we got a bunch of DVDs on top here. Let's see what we got. The first one up, Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, Far and Away. This is the movie, I believe, that kicked off their romance, and Eyes Wide Shut is the one that ended their romance. I think that's the thing. This is actually a Tom Cruise movie that I've never seen before. Far and Away. What they needed was a country big enough for their dreams. I'm going to keep this because I want to see that. I like Tom Cruise. I've never even heard of that movie, so I'm going to check it out. Next up, we have Batman Begins on DVD. Batman Begins is one of the best Batman movies of all time. It's a great origin story done very well. It's one of the few origin story movies that I can watch where I don't get bored with the same old origin story, because they actually take time to have Batman become a ninja with the League of Assassins. And they take their time with him, and then that payoff in that final act is so much fun in Gotham City versus Scarecrow versus Ra's al Ghul. It's just a great movie in general, but of course one that I own on 4K. Not going to keep the DVD of it. Moving on to The 40-Year-Old Virgin. I also have this movie on Blu-ray. Very funny movie. Can't quote hardly any of it right now. I do love the moment with Steve Carell and Kevin Hart in that little Best Buy like store that they work at, or Circuit City, wherever they work, and Kevin Hart gets all upset with him for no reason. He said, "Doesn't matter." I love that scene. But this is a fun movie. Next up, guys, Old School yet again. We already talked about it, so we'll get rid of that. Next up, we have I Heart Huckabees. I don't know what this movie is about. Dustin Hoffman, Jude Law, Lily Tomlin, Mark Wahlberg, Naomi Watts. By far the most original comedy of the year. I like comedies. I'm going to put it in the get rid of it pile, but if any of you have seen I Heart Huckabees and you're like, no, it really is hilarious, you got to check it out, let me know and I'll keep it. You have 24 hours. All right, next up, guys, we have the movie Fred Claus, and this is a movie I own on Blu-ray. Love this movie. I think Vince Vaughn is so underrated as an actor. I guess maybe he's appropriately rated. I don't know. I think Vince Vaughn's great, and I think his comedic timing is perfect, and that just shows in Fred Claus. Of course, Fred Claus also has Kevin Spacey, who we're not allowed to talk about, but I think he does a good job in this movie as well. So yeah, Fred Claus. If you haven't seen it, it's a really fun holiday movie. I watch that and Four Christmases every year, no matter what. Whether I'm watching It's a Wonderful Life, the Home Alone movies, I make sure every Christmas time I watch Four Christmases and Fred Claus. Next up, guys, we have a 4-film favorite that is so dirty. Suspense collection: Seven, Heat, Insomnia, and The Devil's Advocate. Now, I don't own The Devil's Advocate or Insomnia. And I think Insomnia, isn't that Christopher Nolan? I think it is. Hold on, we're going to figure this out right here, right now. Michael Mann, obviously, is the Heat movie. David Fincher would be Seven. I can't tell. Robin Williams, Insomnia. Christopher Nolan. Yeah, this is actually one of the few Christopher Nolan movies, or maybe the only Christopher Nolan movie I haven't seen. And this case is filthy. Like, you could see it. It's filthy. I may keep it just to watch Insomnia once, because, again, it's like the only Christopher Nolan movie I haven't taken time to watch. I also really like Seven and Heat. I own both of those on Blu-ray. I think I just upgraded Heat to 4K. Devil's Advocate is a movie that I really like. I don't own yet, but I wouldn't normally keep the DVD. But I am going to keep this for now for Insomnia. You don't care how long I keep things. What am I talking about? All right, moving on, guys. We have Bruce Almighty starring Jim Carrey. It's a movie I own, I think, actually on DVD. It's fine. It's a funny movie. My go-to is not comedy. While I do enjoy certain comedy movies, especially the era of movies like Dodgeball, my go-to is not, oh, let me pop in this funny movie and laugh for a while. Like, I prefer action, thriller, horror over comedy. I will go to those 9 times out of 10 versus going to comedy. I think Bruce Almighty is a good movie. It's definitely better than the follow-up in Evan Almighty, but I already own it. Let's see what else we got. We have Twisted. Ashley Judd, Samuel L. Jackson, and Andy Garcia in Twisted. Have no idea what this is about. It says sensual and stunning. Disagree. Let's move on. What do we have here, guys? We have Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, the second movie in the Harry Potter franchise. Like I said before, I have the whole franchise on Blu-ray, and I am looking to upgrade it to 4K. Just want to wait till WB puts out a new steelbook set that isn't like $300 online. Because the last steelbook set they put out, it's online, but it's expensive right now. All right, got a couple movies here. The first one we have is Equilibrium. This is a Christian Bale movie that I haven't seen and one that people talk very highly of. And so a movie that I may keep again for now, just so I have a chance to watch it in the near future and then discard the DVD forever. So yeah, Equilibrium. It's kind of a cool pickup. We Were Soldiers, starring Bruce Willis, I think, right? It's Mel Gibson. Wasn't Bruce Willis in this movie? I said it before I thought about it. No, it's just Mel Gibson. It's not Bruce Willis. I'd take that back if I could, but I can't. It's out in the universe now. All right, so We Were Soldiers is a movie that I saw because my dad went through this huge World War II phase and he wanted to watch as many World War II movies. It was a movie came out around the same time as Flags of Our Fathers, Black Hawk Down, things like that. So I know I watched this at least once. It's not a movie that I go back to ever in my life, so I won't keep the DVD, especially because of the quality of DVD. Now, this is an awesome case for American Pie. Look at this case. That's cool. I like when movies do that. And here you go. What do you have here? You got American Pie 2 Movie Club in theaters this August, and this will get you into the movie American Pie 2. It is a ticket stub to check out the movie. It's worth $10. That is a cool piece of, I don't know, movie history. That's just neat. That's cool. It's like a check. Hey, you can get in to see the American Pie 2 with this. That's how they got you to buy the movie on DVD. That is really cool. While I own the American Pie movie, American Pie 1 on Blu-ray, I'm going to go ahead and not keep the DVD, but I am going to keep this insert. I may put this insert inside of my Blu-ray case because that's just a cool piece of something we don't do anymore. Look, see, promotion ends August 26, 2001. Look at that. Like, that's, to me, that is the coolest find that I've found in either of these mystery boxes so far, because it's just not something that they do anymore. I mean, it's very rare. They're like, and if you pick up this movie, we're going to give you a check, basically, to watch the next movie. It's just cool to me. It's a neat case. If anybody out there is a DVD collector and you're a big American Pie fan, this would be kind of a cool case to collect. But I own it, and I don't keep the DVD 9 times out of 10, so get rid of that. Let's see what else we have in here, guys. The next couple movies I pulled out of the box. The Rules of Attraction. James Van Der Beek, Shannon Sossaman, Kip Pardue. Okay, the names get worse. But Jessica Biel is also in this movie. That's cool. I've not seen this movie. I don't know anything about this movie. Forget everything you thought you knew about higher education. So yeah, looks like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. What more could you want in a movie? That's what Time Magazine said. I don't know. Maybe a good plot, Time Magazine? Rules of Attraction. Not going to keep it, but there it is. Moving on, we have I Am Sam. Next up, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. This is a movie I own on Blu-ray. I know a lot of people love this movie. I think it is good. I'm more of a number 23 guy. If Jim Carrey's going to be serious, I want to watch number 23. Moving on, guys. Let's see what else we have in here. See, I told you there were going to be some DVD sets. All right, because it was heavy. Next up, we have Hemlock Grove, a 3-disc box set of Hemlock Grove. I don't know what this is about. There's a really nasty looking monster on the back. Offbeat and dark, beautifully shot, genuinely suspenseful, with a town in shock and mourning. I don't know. But it's also like a region disc, and so I probably won't be able to watch it, and I wouldn't keep it anyway. Next up, we have Doctor Who, the complete 5th series. Now, this is on, I think this is a DVD case. Yeah, it's a DVD case. That's cool. I am not a huge fan of Doctor Who. My older brother is. He is a huge fan of Doctor Who, and I don't know if this is something he wants, but he's weirdly in town this week, so maybe I'll hand it to him and be like, hey, thought of you. But really just came out of this. Isaac, when you watch this later, it just came out of this mystery box. But seriously, that's kind of a cool. I like the front cover. Doctor Who Complete 5th Series. So if you don't have it, I'm going to give it to you, Isaac. Next up, we have Smallville, the complete 6th season. I own this movie already, or I own the whole series, I should say, back there in my TV shows. Smallville's great, but I don't think I've actually seen the 6th season. I think I've seen through season 5. I think so. Is that the Jensen Ackles season? I don't know. Whenever the season with Jensen Ackles, that was the last season that I saw. Maybe 4? I don't know. Moving on, guys, we have Alias, the complete 3rd season. I've heard a lot about this. I think this is J.J. Abrams' thing. I've never been interested in checking it out. And the theme with seasons, like now when a season comes out to streaming, it's like 10 episodes. Super easy to get through. You can get through it in a week. If you got nothing to do, you can get through it in a day. But back in the day, they were like, here's 33 episodes or 26 episodes. And I was like, man, I just don't have time for that. And it's the 3rd season, so I'd have to find the other seasons. I don't really have any interest in it, so I'm going to get rid of Alias. All right, moving on. What else do we have in here? Whoa, a lot more DVDs, TV sets. First up, we have Supernatural, the complete 1st season. Now, I love Supernatural, but I don't currently own any of the seasons of Supernatural. So to me, this isn't a bad pickup. I don't mind watching TV shows on DVD. The transfer is not going to be that much better to Blu-ray. So I'm going to keep Supernatural Season 1. I've seen all the way through Season 7 for Supernatural. I think through Season 5, it is a brilliant show. And then when they get into Angels and Demons after that, it's not as good. When they're just hunting monsters, that's where they're at their best. And that's the 1st season. Next up, guys, we have Hemlock Grove, The Monster Is Within. Season 1 of Hemlock Grove. I'll tell you what, if Hemlock Grove, I don't know what season that was down there. I think it was 3. Maybe I'll keep them if I get a bunch of them. But Hemlock Grove Season 1, I still don't know anything about it. World War II Unsung Heroes. Appreciate everything they did. I'm not going to take time to watch it. At some point, somebody sold this for $10.99, and someone bought it. Let's consider that. Smallville, with a rubber band that's stuck to it. That's nasty. Smallville, complete 5th season. Don't want that rubber band to touch me, so I'm just going to get rid of it. All right, Downton Abbey, seasons 1, 2, and 3. I've never been a fan of Downton Abbey. Have no idea what is about, but yeah, I'm not going to keep it because I don't... Downton Abbey. That's a cool case. I like the purple and black. That's kind of cool. All right, guys, moving on. What else is in here? More TV shows. I knew this thing was going to have TV shows in it. It was so heavy. I knew it was going to have TV shows. The Office Season 4. Again, every time I make one of these, if there's an Office in there, someone wants it. So I will set this aside. If you are in the Indiana area, that's how I'll put it, so that I don't give away where I live. If you're in the Indiana area, greatest state in the United States, and you want a copy of The Office, I got a couple copies of Seasons, so just let me know. Next up, we have Gravity on DVD. Now, this is a movie I've never seen, and whoever bought it originally has never seen it either. I hear good things about it. Sandra Bullock, George Clooney. If this was a Blu-ray, I would keep it with the intention of watching it. Since it's a DVD, I'm probably not going to go to it very often. I'm not going to keep it. Gravity, DVD. Kiefer Sutherland, 24, season 1. This was a great series. At least the first season was a great series. Target once had a receipt dated with 90 days is required for all returns and exchanges, but this has literally never been opened. So that's cool. I'm not a huge fan of 24. I thought the first season was great, and that is what I have here. So maybe I'll keep this. But otherwise, yeah, I don't know if I've watched it past that. So 24. All right, what else is in here? We're going to start with another series, starting with Veronica Mars, the complete first season. Now, this, I believe, was this Joss Whedon? I think he directed this. I could be wrong. No, he was Buffy. I don't know who directed this. But Veronica Mars, it was a big show that was super popular in the, I think, early 2000s. And I never checked it out. I'm going to keep that streak alive. So I'm not going to keep Veronica Mars. All right, next up, guys, we have Grab Life by the Ball, Dodgeball on DVD. Own this movie on Blu-ray. One of the funniest movies of all time. Between this, Wedding Crashers, a couple other movies that are just so good from that era. This is when I was a teenager, so this stuff was like resonating with me. It was so funny. And it's just, as an adult, these are still the comedies that I go back to. But I own it, so I'm not going to keep the DVD. Derailed is a movie starring Jennifer Aniston, Vincent Cassel, Roz, and Exhibit. I'm not going to keep it. Derailed. I think I've actually seen it. Is Clive Owen in this? Yeah, Clive Owen is in this. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, I've seen this. Very forgettable. Next up, DVD, Hearts in Atlantis. Unless they go to Atlantis, I don't want it. All right, and Shallow Hell. This is a movie I talked about with my wife a while back. It's a very funny movie. Couldn't make a movie like this today at all with all of the jokes that they put in this thing. But it's a great Jack Black movie. And it's got, yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow is the girl in the movie, and I think I'll keep this just because we were talking about it the other day, and I've never seen this on Blu-ray anywhere, so I'll have a copy of Shallow Hell. That's kind of cool. All right, next up, guys, we have Follies War Set 5, Follies War Set 6. I'm just not going to take the time to even... Mr. Robot Season 4.0, the final season. I've heard about Mr. Robot, no idea what it's about. It's got Rami Malek in it, if you're a big Rami Malek fan. I'm not. I think he's always got this face, or this face, which is the same face, and that's an issue for me. I'm not going to keep it, but Mr. Robot. There you go. Let's see. Philanoma, starring Judi Dench and Steve Coogan. Judi Dench looking younger than I've seen her in a movie. And Steve Coogan, I'm not going to keep this because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I would never spend time watching this. And it's never been opened. So there's that too. All right. A couple things left here in the box. Let's move on to the next one. And that is Something New, a DVD romantic comedy that's both romantic and funny. No, thank you. Next up, we have Breaking Away, the Academy Award winner for Best Screenplay of 1979. And I don't know that. That's on the disc. That's how they sold it. A smashing movie, one of the most rapturously funny, totally unique, and eccentric film experiences. 1979. This guy's driving his parents crazy. He's an Italian. Attempts to turn himself into an Italian. I take offense to that. You can't just turn yourself into an Italian. You're either born with it like us or you're not. I don't really take offense to anything. And that's what being Italian is all about. But we're going to get rid of that. All right, next up we have Supernatural, the complete second season. That's a good pickup. I got season 2 over there, or season 1 over there. I think season 2 is equally as good as season 1. And this has the clown episode in it. That is a good episode. So yeah, I'm going to keep that. That's cool. All right, what else is in here? What else is in this box? Moving on to The Office Season 2. I believe I have season 3 and season 4 down there. And again, I got to say it because I say it every time. There's always somebody who wants these. So The Office Season 2. There you go. On DVD. Les Mis. This is a movie that I remember when this came out. I was seeing Project X. And I came out of the theater. And there was this line of old ladies like going to the door, waiting to get into their theater. This is before you had reserved seats and you could just get there after the previews have started. Anyway, there was a line out of the theater, and I said to the lady, I said, what are you guys waiting for? Like, is there a special movie coming out? And she goes, oh, we're seeing Les Mis. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm out. So I've never seen Les Mis. Did not join those ladies that day. The Office Season 3. I think this is something I already found in the other box, but there it is, The Office Season 3 yet again. And The Office Season 1 on DVD. There it is. So we have 1 through 4 for sure. There's a couple things left in here, guys. I'll pull them all out now. Get rid of this box. The first movie... Hold on, I need some Red Bull because I'm starting to lose my voice. Ah, it's powerful. All right, here we go. The first movie is Meet the Fockers. This is a movie starring Ben Stiller, and it's funny, I just recently rewatched these with Meet the Fockers, Meet the Parents, and my plan was to watch Meet the Little Fockers, or it's just called The Little Fockers. Did not get to that movie because we got into Meet the Fockers. We watched Meet the Parents, and then we got to Meet the Fockers, and my wife and I got like halfway through before we tapped out. We're like, these movies are not as good as we thought they were. The first movie still has some credibility. I think the first movie's really good. And the Fockers is just, it's hard to get through. So I think we turned it off, and we never went back to it. So next up, As You Like It. William Shakespeare's As You Like It. Romance or something like it. No. All right. We have a couple movies left in here. The first one up is Graceland. Kurt Russell, Kevin Costner in Graceland. I didn't know that these two made a movie together called Graceland. I really like Kevin Costner, especially after watching all of the seasons of Yellowstone. I'm a big fan of Kevin Costner. Kurt Russell, of course, is great. But I don't know. Crime is King. Maybe I'll check this out. This sounds like a fun one to check out sometime. Like a rainy day. Like, oh, all right, I've got this Kevin Costner movie. We have another DVD here, and it is Vampires Suck. I remember seeing this in theaters, extremely inappropriate, but it came out when the Twilight hype was at its height of power, and so we got the Vampires Suck movie, which of course came out in that same time as Movie 43, other movies that were like, hey, here's the spoof of the thing that you really like right now. And it was funny. I remember when Bella, the person playing Bella, gets picked up by her dad, the police officer, he's like makes inappropriate comments to her, and I was like, that's uneasy, but it's pretty funny. Again, another movie I don't think you could make today. Not a great movie, not a movie I'm going to keep, but a movie I've seen in the theater on top of that. We have one more Blu-ray left here, and then there's something here we'll get to here in a second, and that is Ex Machina. I own this movie on Blu-ray, bought it with the intention of watching it because of so many channels and so many people on YouTube saying that this is great, you got to check it out. And I still haven't watched it. So I do already have a copy of this on Blu-ray. I'm not going to keep this one. So Ex Machina, put it down there. The last movie, guys, that we're going to talk about today is Basil Rathbone in the complete Sherlock Holmes collection. This is cool. This is really, really cool. Look at that case, too. It looks like a book. I like that. The complete Sherlock Holmes collection. I remember watching these as a kid, and look at this. You got disc 1, Hound of Baskervilles, Adventure of Sherlock Holmes, Sherlock Holmes and the Voice of Terror. I've always been pretty infatuated with Sherlock Holmes. I loved how the stories ended. I love the Moriarty aspect, the idea of him and Moriarty fighting to their death off a cliff. And of course you have that in the Robert Downey Jr. movie. They kind of explore that a little bit with both of them going under the water together at the end of Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows. I was also a huge fan as a kid. I was a huge fan of the Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd Century movie, or TV show that came out, I should say. That was always fun to me as well. This is a cool find, one that I will definitely be keeping on my shelf. Basil Rathbone in the complete Sherlock Holmes collection. That's pretty cool. I don't want to keep the sticky page that they stuck with apparently Gorilla Glue. Hold on, we're going to get through this together. There we go. I got it off. All right, the back looks terrible, but the front, that's really cool. Basil Rathbone in the complete Sherlock Holmes collection. Yeah, I've said it 9 times now. I'm going to stop saying it. Overall, from this second box, guys, I'm keeping Sherlock Holmes, the complete collection of movies. Kurt Russell and Kevin Costner's Graceland. You know, I'm not going to keep it. I've changed my mind. Equilibrium, starring Christian Bale, a sci-fi movie that I do want to watch, have wanted to watch for a long time. And then this really dirty case here of 4 movies, 2 of which I already own, 2 I don't own, and the reason I'm keeping this, again, is because I want to watch Insomnia, Christopher Nolan's Insomnia. I think that's really cool. I've never seen that movie. I'm keeping both seasons of Supernatural, Season 1 and Season 2. I'm not keeping 24. I'm never going to watch it. See, when it comes to TV shows, it is easier to just say, listen, I want to watch this. I'll find where it's streaming. It's easier than putting in 100 discs. It really is. I'm going to keep Supernatural because I want to see it on my shelf. But I'll be honest, if I ever get in the mood to watch 24, I'll just do that then. So I'm not keeping that. Next up, guys, I'm keeping Shallow Hal from this mystery box. That's a cool DVD find there. And Doctor Who, the complete 5th series. I'm going to keep this and give it to my brother. If he already has it, then I will let him throw it away, I guess. That's that. And from the other one, again, we have Far and Away starring Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. We have Alpha Dog from the previous mystery box. Into the Woods. The Lego Ninjago movie. Serving Sarah. I'm not keeping it. Stephen King's It. Movie 43. Blow starring Johnny Depp. And Shall We Dance with Fred Astaire. So out of the 100 movies, guys, I'm going to roughly keep, well, let's do a tally here. You may already be counting at home. I'm an idiot, though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 items out of these sets. That's the thing about the mystery boxes. I know that it's like usually overstocked stuff that they just can't sell. So they're like, just put in a mystery box and some dummy who makes YouTube videos will buy it. And here I am. On my 4th mystery box. But I do enjoy making these videos. And of course, I really like making videos for this channel in general. Oh, I just found my ticket to American Pie 2 that I'm going to try to use at the theater in 2001. Again, that is the coolest find for me. My hands are kind of dirty. But guys, I just unboxed 2 mystery boxes, and I did this as a thank you to all of the 500 plus people who have subscribed to my YouTube channel yet. If this is the first time you're finding me, or maybe you just go back to my videos, but you haven't hit that subscribe button, if you could hit subscribe, it would mean a lot to me. Plus, you'll get updates as soon as I drop different videos, whether they're movie reviews, Blu-ray updates, or hey, maybe more mystery boxes in the future. Can't wait till I hit that 1,000 subscriber milestone. I will do another big video for this channel when I hit that. But if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, because as always, it helps the video, it helps the channel, and it helps me right here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.